Welcome back, Rimworldians. This is Chapter 20 in Harriet's story, and today she will endeavor to complete her microelectronic research in order to really get tech developments in order. A nice even start to the Quadrum sees this very task complete. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you— just kidding. As Harriet directs the installation of orbital trade, she notes the colony's inadequate reserves of steel for the comms console. She sends Lions out to scrap the Empire of God's crashed shuttle from one of the previous episodes. This yields 32 plasteel, 8 components, and 30 steel. This is quite the haul in terms of overall value, but very unsatisfactory for the steel requirements. And so, at sunrise the following morning, Lions exits the base to dismantle a crashed ship chunk deeper within the jungle. This is converted into an extra 8 components and 30 steel. With enough materials to proceed, Harriet takes a moment to meditate before fabricating the communicator. Meanwhile, Krika has another mental episode due to the loss of his sons. Despite having forgiven Pixie's dynasty, that's little consolation for his grief. In his psychosis, he confuses Teddy's body with his son's and brings it to the recreation hall to talk with it. So, this is a bit awkward. Not because Krika is exhuming the friends of his new compatriots, but rather due to the moment in which I remember to rename him. Dark, thank you for your financial support. In a way, your name on this character has poetic timing. Harriet, mortified by this, immediately returns Teddy to her sarcophagus next to Huckleberry as Dark wanders up the hall, muttering to his deceased offspring. He continues pacing this area well into the morning of September 3rd. As Ark's banning salon rises to the new day, one can observe Harriet tending to her fields. As Lions rotates shifts with Harriet, Dark comes to his senses. Absolutely exhausted, he heads to bed. In order to progress technologically, Harriet must build a high-tech research bench. That alone is insufficient, as she will need the complement of a multi-analyzer as provision for advanced medical devices, security equipment, and ultimately, a spaceship to escape the planet. She extends the research lab to accommodate the two 2x5 research benches that she intends on constructing. 2 heads are better than 1 after all. As night falls, through the fog of war, the kinship of Krika returns for their tribesmen. Unbeknownst to them, their dear leader has switched sides. They are in for a rude awakening. Doubts of Dark's converted loyalty are eased as he takes point in the defense, even engaging in hand-to-hand combat with one of the aggressors. Post-battle routines are undertaken, during which a wild pachyderm, tempted by the bountiful sustenance and care of the colony's herd, self-tames. Once again, I would like to dedicate this to a financial supporter. Hey Streams, it's been years and I hope you see this. Thank you for making this possible. As the 4th of September and the defense's rearmament continue, the Empire of God requests a memorial be raised in honor of their dead. Though this is a noble and simple undertaking, the amount of labor and materials involved would slow Harriet's technological progress. For now, she sets aside this mission. As the finishing touches to the security corridor are tended to, Coyote makes a break for it. He cracks through the door only to run into 4 of his captors. He is swiftly beaten into submission and returned to his cell. Harriet tends to be the medical attendant for the colony, so in order to add skilled caretakers to the roster, Lyons takes this opportunity to practice his tending on Coyote's injuries. As the sun rises on the 5th of September, final repairs are carried out on the security hall. Upon dusk, the colonists are mining a steel mound on the base's northeast corner to restock the depleted metal reserves and construct the new research benches. This continues through the next morning when randomly 3 sheep wander into the colony. With little skill to value from these creatures, they are guided to the freezer, where they will be Old Yellered. That afternoon, the first research bench is complete and the sterile floors are extended to fill the room. During the late night mining operation, power flickering can be heard from within the base. The additional appliances have reached the power limitations of the water mills, and so a new one will need to be constructed. As work is finalized in the laboratory, Harriet begins the deconstruction of the northern wall as members of the Abunbavexa Union pay their allies a visit. In fact, just when the foundation of the 3rd watermill is zoned, another Abunbavexa comes to greet Harriet's faction. Unfortunately, this lone pilgrim was greeted by the wrong committee and is killed by a wild panther. How is Harriet supposed to explain this one? The dog ate my homework doesn't work in school. Why should the panther ate my visitor be any different? Relations are unfortunately penalized for this tragedy. However, on the bright side, Slag can scrounge quite a bit of value from the remains. He retrieves a stack of pemmican, a couple bows, an herbal med, 181 silver, and a steel crown, which will potentially be worth 200 to 300 silver. Before the first visitors depart, Wheel runs out to negotiate with them and rids his stockpiles of primitive weapons and apparel for 180 silver. At nightfall, the hydro generator is functional and connected to the power grid. Stone chunks are stored as a makeshift firing line for redundancy, and the outer wall is extended. By the 8th of September, the 3rd watermill is running and secured. Work on the 2nd research bench can begin as the steel vein is continually mined. It is completed by Harriet on September 9th, and this, my friends, is where Chapter 20 reaches its conclusion. Randy was fairly relaxed again on this occasion, which means the likelihood of his outbursts increases for next episode. On this next segment, Harriet and her contemporaries will focus on research. Anyone not on technology development will commit to stockpiling resources or reinforcing the defenses in preparation for Randy's inevitable rampage. And so, I will see you then. Thank you for your attention. Like, sub, ring the bell. As always, I hope you are safe, healthy, and fulfilled. I will see you on the next one.